Before we get started with tonight's video, I gotta thank the awesome super chatters from last week's episode on the $4.99 or more tier. First off, Travis Mitchell, thank you so much, dude, for your support for the channel on that level. His link to his channel, guys, is in the description below. And of course, the Obithorian Alliance from Two Perspectives. Guys, thank you so much. Jacob and Luke are fantastic hosts. I've been over on their channel myself. You can check out that episode. I'll link it down below as well as their channel link is also in the description. Definitely go over there and check them out. Check out Travis, check out the Obithorian Alliance, and guys, thank you so much for all of your support towards the channel. It means so much. It goes a long way, and it's the reason why I can do the show every week. So thank you so much. Alright guys, tonight we got a juicy, spicy show tonight. Deadpool 3 has just wrapped up filming. Will it hit its release date of July 26th? And how important is it to the MCU overall? Matthew Vaughn has come out and kind of hinted that he's got a whole kick-ass cinematic universe he's planning in the future. You guys may not have heard, but the Oscar nominations came out the other day, and I mean, I'm probably breaking this to you for the very first time, but Greta Gerwig did not get nominated for Best Director from Barbie, and Margot Robbie did not get nominated for Best Actress from Barbie. I know you're hearing this for the very first time, and it's crazy, and I'm sorry I have to be the one who breaks it to you. We're these snubs, we're gonna get into it. And lastly, just cause they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. We are getting another Jurassic World 4, but this one has some promise as the original writer from the first Jurassic Park movie is coming back to pen the script. All this and more, Zach Milne Talks Live starts. Well, you guys are here, so I guess we'll start it right now. Welcome to Zach Milne Talks Live. I apologize for being a little late there. My mic was not sounding good. My mic was not sounding good at all, and I was like, what was wrong with my mic? Then I remembered that my wife used it, and the gain was turned all the way up, so I had to adjust that. But welcome, guys. Welcome to Zach Milne Talks Live. We're, like I said, started a little late, so if you're new to the show, basically how it works is we got predetermined topics that we're going to run through. And in between those topics, going to take your live comments and questions. Going to do something a little bit different tonight I want to try out. We're going to do two topics, intermission with the comments and questions, and then the last two topics, and then your comments and questions for the remainder of the show. Some of you guys have contacted me with some amazing feedback, so thank you guys so much. I want to thank everyone who's given feedback to the show. You guys like the show, but you sometimes have to leave before we're done all the topics, because sometimes we get into topic 4 when we're like 2 hours into the show. So I totally understand. I completely get it why you guys would have to leave. So we're going to try and see if we can make those run a little bit smoother, run a little bit more closer together, so that you guys can catch all the topics before you have to run off. Also, just a little bit more before we get started, we do this show live, so you can type in your comments and questions throughout the entire show, and we will take your comments and questions until we get to the end of the show. Excuse me, of the show. And if you want to support the channel on a little bit more of a financial level, it helps me out tremendously. It helps the channel out tremendously. So if you want to do that, I want to say more than just thank you with words. I know a lot of you guys have channels of your own, and I want to help you guys out for helping us out over here. So we do have a super chat guide. A super chat guide is up here. It's also up in the corner of the chat. Basically, for $1.99, I'll make a community post, send it out to the entire community of subscribers, linking your channel to it, shouting you out, hopefully getting some traction over there. For $2.99 or more, you get the community post as well as the link in the description of this video. And for $4.99 or more, you get the community post, the link to your channel in the description of this video and next episode's video, as well as a special shout out like you saw at the top of the show for Travis Mitchell and Obithorian Alliance. This also extends, whoops, where did it go? I lost my place here. Sorry. This also extends to super thanks. If you guys can't be here live and you are watching the replay or you're watching a video and you're thinking to yourself, I wish I could contribute to this channel, well, you can. The super thanks button is right there, and all of those apply to the super thanks as well. But as always, guys, you don't have to send in any money. We don't have to send in any money at all. Whatever you guys type in, I'm just going to take the question regardless. So anyways, we've rambled on enough. I'm obviously flustered from being late and checking the mic and blah, 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 blah. Let's just get into your comments and questions, guys. Let's see what you guys are saying, and then we'll get into our topics here. Let's see who's in here. We got the Oberthorian Alliance from Two Perspectives. Hello, guys. Thank you again for that generous super chat last week. And you guys say, hi, Zach. Hope you're having an awesome week and everything is going well. Well, thank you so much, guys. This is Jacob and Luke for you guys who didn't know, and I appreciate that. I hope the same for you. And thank you so much for being here, guys. It's great to have you. Michael11591, my buddy. What's going on, dude? Says, hey, Zach. How you doing, man? Doing well. I'm doing well, Michael. Glad to see you in here, man. Hope you're doing well. Dakota Man Movies, what's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us tonight. He says, hey, Zach, came across this argument today. What color is Marty McFly's vest? I think it's red. Red? Marty McFly's vest is orange. Right? Crap. Wait, one sec. Okay, I didn't think we'd have to do this so early, but let's go to the web here. Let's see here. Marty McFly. Let's see what he's wearing. Let's see what getup this boy's got on. Okay. This looks orange to me. Why can't I make that bigger? Oh, well, that's the wrong vest. I'm screwing everything up. Oh, there we go. Now it's bigger. How did I do that? I don't know. This looks orange to me. That looks orange to me. I don't know, man. That looks orange. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me, or do you think it's red? I don't think it's red. I don't see it being red. That's orange. That is orange. Am I crazy? Oh, come on. That's orange. Come on. Come on now. That's orange. I think I'm right. My favorite movie of all time, I'm going to say that I'm right. So, I think it's orange. I'm going to go with orange. And I'm going to stand by it. Okay. The View with Drew says, hey, everyone. What's going on, Drew? Thanks for joining us tonight, my friend. Luke Pontos, my friend, thank you for joining us. I was just over on Luke's channel yesterday. We did an impromptu episode of talking about the Oscar nominations and the Razzies. It was a lot of fun, and definitely check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. But what's going on, Luke? Hope you're doing well. Luke says, watch anything good lately? Honestly, dude, I've not. I haven't watched anything at all. I'm pathetic. Michael11591 says, I saw Galaxy Quest on the big screen last night. I love that movie, and it was fun revisiting the film. Nice, dude. I think I remember you writing in last week that you were going to go see that. So, awesome, man. I'm glad you had a good time. The Lawrence Report. What's going on? Thanks for joining us, the Lawrence Report. Happy to have you here. Says, excited for Deadpool 3. Me too, man. Me too. We're going to talk about Deadpool 3 in a minute for sure. The Cosmic Broadcast, one of our beloved channel members, Jonah, over there. Definitely check out his channel, guys. The best editing on YouTube. I stand by it. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for joining us. He says, with Deadpool 3 being the only MCU movie released in 2024, the expectations are definitely raised. Let's hope they can nail the end of the trilogy. Yeah, man. Oh, dude, we're going to get into it. They've got so much pressure on their back with this film. I do not envy them at all. It is... Man, I hope it's good for their sake, for Kevin Feige's sake, for the MCU's sake. I hope it's good, but I'm so excited. I can't wait. Chillmongo, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. He says, no more waiting 10 minutes to have my comments read. That's how you hook the viewer. Yeah, I know. You guys, sometimes the comments get, not sometimes, the comments do get backed up. And I know some of you guys are a little angsty at how long you have to wait for your comment to get answered, and I apologize for that. I wish I could make everything perfect for you guys, but it can't be perfect. All I can promise you is that I'm going to do my very absolute best to get to your comment or question, even if you posted it half an hour ago, and I got to it, you know, if you posted it at 7:45 and we got to it at 8:30. I apologize for that, but at least we got to it is how I see it, and I hope you guys are okay with that. That's funny, Chillmonger. Michael11591 says, are you looking forward to Madam Web? No, not really. Well, we've talked, man, Madam Web has been such a discussion on this channel lately, which is fair because it's like a big movie that's coming out. But yeah, no, with Madam Web, I'm looking forward to it in the wrong sense, as in I just don't know if it's going to be good. And I'm expecting a train wreck, but train wreck that will be fun. You know what I mean? I think I'm more excited for the aftermath of Madam Web. I'm not too much looking forward to seeing the actual movie, but I know that once I've seen the movie and all the memes come out and all the jokes and all the Twitter banter of the movie comes out, that's going to be fun to enjoy. And you know what? I hope it's great. I hope Madam Web is fantastic. I don't have much faith that it's going to be fantastic, but I sincerely hope that Madam Web is fantastic. So we'll have to wait and see. Have you seen that with T, one of our newly beloved channel members? Thank you so much for being here, Terrence. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being a member, dude. Thank you so much. Says, hey, Zach, it's red. No, it's not. Come on. That's orange. I can't unsee orange. I can't believe this has become a debate. I can't believe this is a thing. I can't believe that some of you guys don't see orange. I'm pulling it back. No, I'm not going to pull it back up. It's taking too long to pull back up. But I see orange. That's all I'll say. I see orange, and I love the movie, so I'm going to say that I'm right. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane, another beloved channel member. Thank you so much for being here, Ryan. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Says, sorry I'm late to the party. Just finished posting a review. I'm interested to see what Sean Levy does with his biggest profile movie to date. Yeah, I mean, he's got some good ones under his belt. And with Ryan Reynolds, nonetheless. He's got Free Guy there. He's got The Adam Project. So I'm super excited that they got Sean Levy for Deadpool 3. I think it's perfect. I think also Sean Levy, didn't he do Real Steel with Hugh Jackman as well? And Hugh Jackman's in this too. So, I mean, these guys have great success together in the past. Everything with Deadpool lines it up to be a winner. I will be very disappointed if it's not, but we'll see. We'll see. Michael11591 says, are you seeing Argyle? I saw the trailer and it looks like fun. Yeah, I plan on seeing Argyle next weekend. When it comes out next weekend, I'm planning on seeing it. Friday night is when I'm hoping to see it, and then I'll probably have a review up by Saturday. I don't want to make any promises because life is unpredictable. So, but that is the plan. That is my plan, and let's hope I can stick to it. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, I just hope the studio didn't pull a Suicide Squad 2016 and hired whoever edited the trailer to edit the whole movie. I assume you're talking about Madam Web. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I will be very, very disappointed if that's the case, because it's just like these studios not learning their lessons, and it's driving me absolutely bonkers that they're not. But I don't think that will be the case. At least I hope not. Dakota Man Movie says, let's see if Madam Web flops like Morbius and see if Sony lets it flop twice. Yeah, because they re-released Morbius. I don't know what that was all about. Why did they do that? I mean, I guess because the meme had taken off, but like the meme and people actually wanted to sit through that movie again are two different things. Very different things. I enjoy a good Morbius meme, but I do not enjoy the Morbius movie, so I do not want to sit through 2 hours of Morbius ever again. And Madam Web, I mean, I will give Madam Web this. The trailers make it look more fun than the Morbius trailers made Morbius look. At least that's my opinion. So hopefully, if anything, Madam Web is just a fun movie, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't have much faith. Michael11591 says, I saw the trailer for Lisa Frankenstein, and my God, it looked awful. Yeah, I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted on it because in the one sense, I could see it being a pretty funny, dark comedy. And I just find it hilarious that Cole Sprouse is in it. I don't know why. I don't know. It's weird to see him in that kind of movie. But on the other hand, the way it looks very CW TV made cheesy. So I don't know exactly what they're going for with it. But I'm going to give it a shot. I think it might have some promise. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, Sean Levy also directed the Night at the Museum movies. Oh, I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. I've never looked up who directed those movies. All right, there you go. Another good track record. Michael11591 says, I like Catherine Newton, and I got a photo with her at New York Comic Con, but sorry to say that trailer looked awful. I mean, hey, you know what? They ultimately just signed on to be on camera for this movie. So however the movie turns out is not entirely their fault unless their performance sucks. So I'm sure she'll understand. Michael11591 says, Morbius is a guilty pleasure for me. I liked it. I'm glad, man. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad that you found enjoyment in it. I don't even find it likable as a guilty pleasure. I can't sit through it. I think it's boring, and I think it's such a drag. All right, guys, and with that, let's jump into our first topic of the night. And our first topic, once I get everything in order here, our first topic is going to be this. All right. It has been no mystery to anyone who's been on the channel anyways, that my most anticipated movie for this year is Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 just has awesomeness written all over it, with Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. It's entering the MCU. It's having some fun with the end of the Fox Marvel universe. So when the writer's strike happened and then the actor's strike happened and we had that long delay of movies weren't being made, actors weren't shooting in front of a camera, nothing could get going in Hollywood, man, was I getting nervous that Deadpool 3 was going to have to move its release date from 2024 to 2025, maybe even 2026, depending on how long that strike went for. Then the strikes ended, and I was still like, can they pull it off? Can they finish? Well, they actually finished a lot sooner than I expected them to, because they're done. They're done. They're wrapped up filming. They have confirmed this through Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's Instagram accounts. Ryan Reynolds went onto Instagram and wrote this: "The suit hides blood, also sweat. But today with Deadpool wrapping, it's mostly tears. A giant and forever thanks to the cast and crew of our film who battled wind, rain, strikes, and Hugh Jackman, all under the stalwart leadership of Sean Levy. I got to make a movie with my closest pals, and that doesn't happen very often. See ya, July 26th." And he wasn't the only one who confirmed that the shooting for Deadpool is over. We also got confirmation from Hugh Jackman, who posted a fun little video of himself getting the Wolverine beard shaved off. He went on to say, "What a ride. I've loved every minute of making this movie. Well, not the training and the diet, but the other 93.2%. To the best cast and crew, thank you. You are all aces. To two of my best mates, Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy, I literally couldn't have done this without you. Literally. July 26th can't come soon enough. Time to shave." Yeah, and he's right, man. July 26th cannot come soon enough. So now you have it. Deadpool 3 is real. They've shot it. It is somewhere in the editing bay. It is getting made right now. So will this movie hit July 26th release date? Because it seems like these kind of movies, they need at least a year and a half of post-production to get a movie done. They've just finished shooting. What are they, 5 months away or something like that? About 5 or 6 months away from this movie actually coming out. Is that too short a time for this movie to hit its release date? Well, the good thing with Deadpool 3 is that while they were on strike, they had a bunch of stuff shot already, hence why they finished shooting so early after the strikes. So they were editing in the post-production bay even during the strikes going on. So while nothing was being filmed, the movie was still being put together. So that definitely puts them on track to get it out on July 26th. So I'm very hopeful. I think they're going to hit it. I cannot wait to see it. But how important is this movie to the MCU? I think that is the biggest question going on right now, because the MCU, they're in a little bit of a, shall we say, a lull in their success. Not that they're not doing well. Well, the Marvels definitely did not do well for them. 200 mil. I think it only made like over $200 million worldwide at the box office. Not great for any comic book movie, let alone the MCU. Ant-Man and the Wasp did about just a little bit over 400. The biggest success they had was Guardians of the Galaxy with 800 million. But Marvel is not hitting the numbers that they used to, and the fans are definitely not on as bored with Marvel as they used to be. But Deadpool 3, I think, is the most important project, not just for Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward, but for the whole state of comic book movies going forward. Because you've got Deadpool, who, for the majority of non-comic book fans, he is their superhero guy to go to. Like, even if you don't watch the MCU movies, if you don't watch the DCEU, or you're going to be watching the DCU, more casual audiences, I would say, are more familiar with Deadpool and the Deadpool movies than they are with the MCU, especially with how bloated and so much continuity within the MCU and in the DCEU. So Deadpool 3 has to hit, not just for hardcore comic book fans, but for those normal, average day, going to the movie Joe, who just wants to go see a fun comic book movie. He liked Deadpool 1. He liked Deadpool 2. He has no idea that Deadpool 3 is taking place in the MCU, but he doesn't care because it's Deadpool. Deadpool has to hit on all fronts. And with this team that they got lined up with Ryan Reynolds, with Hugh Jackman, with Sean Levy, Wolverine, Deadpool, I think this movie has the most potential of hitting $1 billion. And Marvel hasn't had $1 billion film in a little bit, which is a little bit off kilter for them. But if any film's going to do it, it's going to be this. Now let's look on the flip side. Deadpool 3. If Deadpool 3, for some reason, maybe the strikes affected it, I don't know. It turns out not so great. Not even that it turns out horrible, not even that it turns out terrible, but just kind of turns out average okay. Even that, I think, will be detrimental to the MCU and even comic book movies going forward, because if one thing in this movie doesn't click, if it doesn't work and it's just a little bit underwhelming, because of how underwhelming and how much the comic book genre has lost the casual audiences over these last couple years has been, I think if Deadpool is one of those movies where they walk out feeling like, oh man, it was just another run-of-the-mill, blah, kind of, it doesn't look like it's going to be over CGI. For the most part, it looks like this movie was shot off the side of the road, which I think is hilarious. It just looks like they shot this, they pulled up somewhere and just shot it in the mountains for a couple days. I'm sure there's going to be CGI elements to it, but it definitely doesn't look like it's going to be like Ant-Man and the Wasp CGI kind of movie. So, yeah. Deadpool 3, there's a lot of promise with it. I think it needs to hit. I think it's Marvel's most important project they've ever had. Next to the Avengers, the very first Avengers, I think Deadpool 3 is their most important project since then. But that's just me, guys. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Deadpool 3? It is wrapped filming. Do you think it's going to hit that July 26th release date? Do you think something's going to happen where they're going to have to delay it to next year? Oh, please don't say that's going to happen. Please don't happen. Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And with that out of the way, let's move on to topic number 2. And topic number 2 is this. Matthew Vaughn is one of the more celebrated directors in our day and age. But for a while, Matthew Vaughn kind of seemed like he was stuck in the Kingsman world. You know, he was doing the Kingsman Golden Circle, then he came back and did The Kingsman. A lot of Kingsman going on for Matthew Vaughn. He's finally stepping out of that world. He's got a new original with Argyle coming out next weekend. And so he sat down with Collider, and Collider was kind of asking, hey, you know, like, what's the future for Matthew Vaughn look like? And Matthew Vaughn hinted, he didn't just hint, he basically flat out said his future has Kick-Ass in it. Here's what he had to say to Collider, because it's happening, guys. Kick-Ass 3 is in the works. We're halfway through it. There's a very, very, dare I say it, and it's going to be a cliche coming out of this head of mine. It is a very, very meta universe. It is what, you know, Kick-Ass was reinventing and creating an R-rated superhero, and no one was really doing it. This is taking that whole concept to a worthy, not even a sequel, because I think it's just a whole new way of doing Kick-Ass, which couldn't be more Kick-Ass. All right, so before we get on to the second part of his quote, let's talk about this, the fact that we're getting Kick-Ass 3. I think this is great. I will be honest, I was late to the Kick-Ass fandom. I've only seen the first one, and I only saw the first one like for the first time maybe a few months ago. I haven't gotten around to seeing the second one, but I really liked that Kick-Ass. It was kind of a parody movie. It really played off of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man tropes in some ways. It was grounded in reality for the most part. I thought they did a really great job with the first Kick-Ass movie, and to hear him say that, you know, we're going to go a whole meta way with Kick-Ass, I'm not quite sure what that means, but I can definitely tell it's probably going to be pretty creative and probably pretty original, which is something, you know, Kick-Ass may just be what the superhero genre needs nowadays, something original and something just flat out bonkers. But he doesn't just stop there, guys. He goes on to say in this quote that he's not just looking to do Kick-Ass 3, he may be looking at doing a whole Kick-Ass cinematic universe. So let's look at the second quote. He goes on to say, Vaughn didn't stop there either. He also decided to tell Collider that the new Kick-Ass will be the third entry in a trilogy that starts with School Fight, an action movie produced by him and helmed by stunt coordinator turned director Damian Walters. Vaughn stated, the trilogy will be a school fight, this movie, let's call it Ram for the time being, and then Kick-Ass, and they'll all be connected. Some background, School Fight was already shot and is done, and Ram is currently being filmed. In fact, Vaughn was wearing a jacket with the logo during the interview. All right, so let me just read that again. The trilogy is not going to be Kick-Ass 1, 2, and 3, apparently. It's going to be School Fight, this movie called Ram, and then Kick-Ass. So he kind of basically confirms without saying officially, we're getting a Kick-Ass cinematic universe. We are going to explore the world of Kick-Ass. We're going to go into different corners, and I can totally see how that could work. Because Kick-Ass, when you get this kid who's inspired by a comic book to be a superhero, a real-life superhero, and then his heroic actions convince and inspire other people to put on costumes and act like a superhero in real life, I can see this world being ripe for a cinematic universe where you go to other high schools, you go to other places where teenagers are looking at Kick-Ass and are going, I'm going to be my school's Kick-Ass. And then you got a whole new buildup of all these average people just trying to be superheroes. And another thing that I think is really smart about this is when Kick-Ass came out, we were in the fleshlings of a cinematic universe comic book genre. We weren't exactly there yet. And now we are just drenched in cinematic universes. Every comic book universe has to have a cinematic universe. Everything has to cross over. And people are starting to get, dare I say, fed up with it. Dare I say, a little tired of it. The numbers are dwindling in the cinematic universe with the superheroes especially. But Kick-Ass comes along. And like the first movie, as it kind of parodied the superhero movies of old with the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans and whatnot, you take Kick-Ass and you parody all these cinematic universes that we got going on by doing its own farce of a cinematic universe. There's something about that idea, especially with Kick-Ass, especially within the Kick-Ass universe, that I think is brilliant. I think is a really smart direction to take this franchise. And I don't know if they're gonna get the original cast back. I mean, Chloe Grace Moretz as Hit Girl. Is she too old now to play Hit Girl? I don't know. Probably not. It'd be probably fun to see her come back. It'd be fun to see all these guys come back. But I don't know, guys. I think that this, ironically, could be what reignites people's love for cinematic universe. It could be something different. It could be something brand new, original, never seen it before. A comedic superhero cinematic universe in the form of Kick-Ass. I'm all for it, guys. I am all for that. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of a potential Kick-Ass cinematic universe? Is that how you read these quotes? Or am I reading these quotes completely different than how you're reading these quotes? Do you think that that's not what Matthew Vaughn was saying at all? Comment down below and let me know, guys. And with all that out of the way, let's check out what you guys are saying in the chat about all this in the comments and questions. So let's just move on back to that chat. Here we go. Michael 101591 says, Dune Part 2 trailer I saw in the theater and it looked amazing. Looking forward to it. Every time that trailer comes on, I look away. I look down. I plug my ears. I don't want to see an image. I haven't watched the Dune trailer. I've seen maybe a fraction of some frames of the Dune Part 2 trailer. I don't want to see anything until I watch Dune 1. Yes, I know. For you guys who are new and don't know, I haven't seen Dune 1. I own Dune 1, but I'm waiting for it to get closer to that release date so I can just springboard from Dune into Dune Part 2, because all you guys are waiting with anxious, fingers to get your hands on Dune Part 2. I haven't seen Dune. I have no anticipation for Dune Part 2. So as soon as I finish Dune and I get that anticipation that all you guys are feeling, I'm going to just get to walk right into the movie the next day. So, haha. I don't know. That's how I see it. That's how I see it going. But yeah, no, I haven't seen anything from Dune Part 2. I've seen like pictures of, what's his name? Austin Butler. I've seen pictures of Austin Butler and Florence Pugh, and of course I've seen Zendaya, and I saw the poster that got released today. But other than that, haven't seen an image of the trailer. So that's just me. Michael 11591 says, "Me too. I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3, dude. I'm stoked. If there's any movie that I can watch, it's Deadpool 3. Any movie this year. If you said you can only watch one and none of the other ones, it would be Deadpool 3. Cannot wait." Dakota Man Movie says Deadpool 3. Yeah, baby, Deadpool 3. Michael 11591 says, "I hope a trailer comes soon for Deadpool 3. Honestly, if it comes out in July, what's that? That's what did we say? 5 months away. It's January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So it's like 6 months, but we're basically in February. So it's like 5 months away. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a trailer by April. maybe the end of March, but that might be pushing it. But like April for sure, I think we'll have a trailer by April, and that's not that far away, guys. 2 months, that's not that far away. The latest, like maybe May, because these trailer releases are getting closer to the date of the movie. I feel like May is a little bit too late. I feel like you'd want to get the marketing out for this a little bit earlier, but hey, even if it's May, that's only like 3 months away. So we will have a trailer for this very soon, and I cannot wait. Chillmonger says there wasn't a production strike. That's true, there wasn't a production strike, so production was able to keep going. What they had shot, they were able to edit, put together. They could do sound. They couldn't have the actors come in and do additional dialogue recording. They couldn't do dubbing. They couldn't do ad libs. I remember that was a thing too, because Ryan Reynolds was technically on the Writers Guild. He wasn't allowed to ad lib and improvise on the set. So they'll do all that in post. He's wearing a mask, so I'm sure it'll be easy to fix. But yeah, that is definitely something that saved this movie's release date, is the fact that there wasn't a production strike, because otherwise I think we would have been waiting till 2020, late 2025, maybe 2026 to see Deadpool 3. Lawrence Report says Deadpool bringing the MCU back. Yeah, I think it's the one to do it. I think because here's the thing. You've got Deadpool. You've got, what is it? You've got, the next three ones are Daredevil. Agatha's in there too. And then I think the next movie after Deadpool is Captain America Brave New World. If Deadpool hits, if Deadpool really, really works and people love it and they come back for more, it's going to reignite that love for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at least for a little while, that people had in the past. And because they loved Deadpool, they're more likely to be like, Marvel's back. Because every time Marvel does something good, Twitter is, Marvel's back, it's on track. Every time Marvel does something just slightly wrong or slightly off, or they just make a bad product, it's all of a sudden, Marvel's lost it, they're gone, they're never coming back. So if Deadpool hits, and Deadpool does really well, then it will be, Marvel's back, and they'll be happy again, and they'll be more likely to go into the next MCU movie with that enthusiasm. But if Deadpool's not great, if Deadpool's just fine, if Deadpool's okay, you're not going to get that enthusiasm. You're not going to get audiences that are going to be like, oh, we got to see the next MCU one. If Deadpool lets them down, Marvel will probably officially have let them down. They probably won't care to go see another movie. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's how I see the space right now. That's how I see people reacting to this. Movie reviews with Ryan Lane saying Hugh Jackman, an Australian playing a Canadian whom everyone thinks is American. That's very true. That's really funny. 3D movie cinema. What's going on, Jake? Thanks for joining us, man. Says Zach, man, what's up? How's your night going? So excited for Deadpool 3 and Joker 2. Take, man, and keep up your amazing work, man. Oh, well, thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much for the kind words. And yeah, Joker 2 is another one that I'm looking forward to. I'm very curious about that trailer. That trailer has me really intrigued. I'm wondering just how musical that trailer is going to be. How musical that trailer is going to give me an indication of how musical the movie is going to be. So I have to wait and see what they do with that. Movie reviews with Ryan Lane says, I'm hoping Deadpool 3 plays like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, a standalone adventure with the occasional reference to the MCU. I think you have a strong chance of that happening. I think, based off of Hugh Jackman coming back, that set photo we saw of the 20th Century Fox logo destroyed in the ground, I think there's a strong chance that 95% of this movie is the Fox universe, is in the Fox X-Men universe, and they give that a real final bow. Because what was the last one they did? The last Fox X-Men movie that came, it was New Mutants, wasn't it? That no one remembers. No one really even saw that one because it came out in the pandemic on like streaming, and no one watched it. So a lot of people's last memory with the X-Men is Dark Phoenix. Also, not a great way to end the legacy of those X-Men films. So I could see them doing the majority of the movie in the Fox universe. Plus, you've got Elektra coming back with Jennifer Gardner, and there's rumors of Ben Affleck coming, which I don't believe Ben Affleck's Daredevil is going to come back. But you got all these rumors of like Patrick Stewart coming back too. So I could see the majority of the movie taking place in the Fox universe, giving the final bow to that Fox X-Men universe, and then the very end of it is somehow Deadpool is going to get pulled into the MCU. Something's gonna happen to the point that Deadpool by the end will be in the MCU, but I don't know if I don't suspect the whole movie will be in the MCU because you can't have Hugh Jackman in there. You can't have Hugh Jackman with him in the MCU. I don't think that would make sense. So we'll see. Dakota Man Movie says, "What is the best Deadpool line?" Oh man, that is tricky. The best Deadpool line. The one that always comes to mind is when he sniffs the guns and goes, "I'm touching myself tonight." Very inappropriate. Very inappropriate. But I don't know why that's the one that always comes to my mind after in the first movie. Maybe it's because it's like the first real time that I got an indication of what this character was. Yeah, there's some funny bits in Deadpool, but I can't think of my favorite line off the top of my head. It's probably that one, to be honest with you. Nathan's Red Movie says, "Hi Zach, what have you seen recently? I saw The Aviator, The Kingsman, The 13 Hours for the first time. I enjoyed all those." I hate to disappoint you, but thank you so much for joining us, Nathan. Thanks for being here tonight, my friend. I haven't watched like anything this week that I can, nothing of note, nothing that comes into my memory. So I don't think I've watched anything. I mean, I went and saw ISS, and other than that, I don't think I've watched anything. So, I watched Ted episode 2. I watched the second episode of Ted, and I don't know. I feel not gross because it wasn't like a mean. It was a very mean episode, but the way it went and eventually ended, I felt better about it. But man, it was man, that Seth MacFarlane dude, he's got no lines, and I thought it was very funny. I thought it was a very funny episode. Aaron Austin says, "What's going on, Austin? Thanks for joining us, my friend." He says, "I'm fine with Deadpool 3 being delayed. I don't want a rushed movie." Yeah, I definitely don't want a rushed movie. I don't know that I get the sense that this movie feels rushed. It definitely concluded sooner than I thought it would based off of the strikes happening. But yeah, I think they always planned. No, they didn't always plan for the July. They pushed it. It was supposed to come out in May, I want to say. I think it was supposed to come out in May and got pushed to July. So they gave it some time. So I don't think it's being rushed. I think they're going to really take their time and do this one right. I really do. The View with Drew says, "What are some of your least favorite movies from any year in the 2000s decade?" The 2000s, dude? I don't. Oh, man. Son of the Mask came out in 2000, so I always go to Son of the Mask. I always go to Son of the Mask. Jay Pylon says, "What's good, people? Salute to the chats. Hello and thumbs up." Well, thank you very much, man. Thanks for being here, Jay. Nathan's Random Movies says, "I feel like Deadpool 3 should be delayed a little bit so that the post-production actually smooths out properly." Well, see, I would agree with you if they hadn't been working on the post-production during the strikes. Because I feel like they've gotten a majority of this movie done, especially with, like I said, like how short of a filming timeline they had from when the strikes ended to when they're done, which is today. So I think that because they had that time to work on what they had already shot, and it seems like they've only got like the last little bit to put into the post-production, I think it's going to be fine. And also Deadpool, Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, they were never the most high budgeted movies. Like they had special effects and the effects looked good enough, but the effects were never really relied on. And this movie, based on the, visuals that we've gotten from the set photos and the leaks, it doesn't look very CGI heavy. Not to say it's not going to have any CGI in it, but it's not going to take the amount of time to edit and process this movie as much time as it took like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, for example. Like this movie's not going to need all the time in the world to complete its effects, to complete its film to its final product. So I'm not worried about that. I think it's going to be okay, and I trust that they have their timeline set, ready to go, and they know what they're doing. Dakota Man Movies says, "Do you think Deadpool 3 will make $1 billion, or did Marvel and Disney Plus ruin that?" No, you see, here's the thing. Deadpool 3 has the best chance at making $1 billion for Marvel because of how little connection it has to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because this is what the casual audience is going to see. They're going to be sitting on YouTube, why is my cat smelling its own poop? And then it's going to click on the video of some lady here saying, want to get your cat to stop smelling its poop? And he's going to be like, yes, I do want to stop. So then he's going to move his mouse. He's going to click on the video, and an ad's going to pop up, and it's going to be Deadpool and Wolverine together. And that's all he's going to see, and he's going to think to himself, new Deadpool movie's coming out. I got to see that. He's not going to think, oh, it's another Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I mean, depending on how heavily they market that it's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the most casual audience is just going to see, new Deadpool movie, got to see it. I love the first two. We finally got a new one. The last one came out in 2018. So it's been some time. It's been like, has it been 6 years? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, it's going to be 6 years. Holy crap. It's going to be 6 years since we had a Deadpool movie. Oh, people are going to be over the moon excited for Deadpool, and they're not going to care or look into it at all if it's connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the fact that it's just a Deadpool movie with Wolverine and Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and the fact that it's in the MCU is like a bonus, but it's not why it's going to make $1 billion. It's going to make $1 billion because of that reason. And you've got kids who loved Deadpool but weren't old enough to watch it. It's been 6 years now, so they've grown up. They are now in their 20s or whatever. They can go to R-rated movies, and so you've got the audience growing with the movies, which will build the box office with those who had already seen the movies that are returning as adults. Like, I think if it doesn't make $1 billion, they did something somewhere in the marketing or somewhere something got mixed up, because it should hit that. It should hit that, no problem. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, if they can find a way to squeeze in a Nicolas Cage cameo, I'm all in for Kick-Ass 3. I mean, you'd have to... I haven't seen the second one, so I don't know what they do to retcon. If they retcon, it'd have to be like a flashback or some weird ghost thing, right? I don't know if I'd be up for that. But I loved the character of... was it... Oh, man. Big Daddy? I want to say was his name. Big Daddy. I know it was Daddy something, but... Nicolas Cage in Kick-Ass was hilarious. I loved him. I loved him. And Hit Girl. Him and Hit Girl. I almost wanted their spin-off movie. Like Kick-Ass was fun. I enjoyed Aaron Taylor Johnson. Is that his name? I enjoyed Aaron Taylor Johnson in the role of Kick-Ass. I enjoyed following that character. But whenever we cut to Hit Girl and Big Daddy, I was like, I could watch their solo movie. I could watch a whole movie of just them. They are great. Michael11591 says, I'm up for Kick-Ass 3. Me too, man. I think the landscape of where superhero movies and the comic book genre is now is ripe for a new Kick-Ass movie. We got Nathan John Movies saying, how would you rank the 3 Kingsman films? I have just finished editing a video doing this ranking. I haven't seen The Kingsman yet. It's on my docket to watch before Argyle, but I have not seen The Kingsman yet. As far as the first two, I don't like The Golden Circle. Is that what it's called? Secret of the Golden Circle. What was it called? Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Isn't that what it's called? And then the Kingsman Secret Service is the best, for sure. Got Toxic Gamer 331 in here. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. He says, Olo, Zach. Well, hello to you as well, man. Thank you for being here. Says, how's your day been? My day's been all right. My new job is I'm adjusting to it, but it's going well, and I'm a little bit tired. You might be able to tell. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Happy to be here. Jay Pylon said, did you already mention that Dune 1984 is coming back to IMAX? 1984 is coming back to IMAX? Are you sure it's not the first one? Because I've been seeing that on Twitter, that they're re-releasing the first Dune. My theater doesn't look like it's doing it, but there's theaters that are releasing the first Dune. I don't know if it's the 1984 one, though, because I don't think anyone wants to see that, even in IMAX. I hear it's terrible. Toxic Gamer 331 says, watching Gravity from 2014 while watching you at the same time. Good choice, man. That's a good movie. That's a little underrated movie. I like that movie a lot. Sandra Bullock and George Clooney for like 10 minutes. Jason Entertainment says, how's it going, Zach? Same for me. Didn't watch any trailer for Dune 2 because I know I will go watch it. Yeah, man, I'm so excited to walk into... Well, first of all, I'm excited to watch the first Dune without knowing anything. And then I'm excited to walk into Dune Part 2 without knowing a thing. Talk to me with 51 says, are you going to be watching Founders Day or Miller's Girl, which are coming this week in theaters? I checked my theater for this weekend. I didn't see any of those playing. If Miller's Girl is playing, I'll probably want to see that one because that one looks more interesting to me than Founders Day. Founders Day just doesn't look up my alley. But I checked my theater today because I was like, oh, yeah, the weekend's coming up. What's playing on Friday? And I didn't see anything new playing in my theater, so that's unfortunate. But maybe they'll update it later. I don't know. Nathan Dread Movie says, have you seen Society of the Snow? I have not seen it, unfortunately. Got to catch up on a lot of movies. Toxic Gamer 331 says, also, are the only movies you've seen that have come out this year are Night Swim and ISS? Yes. Yes, those are the only movies I've seen come out this year so far. I feel like it's been a little bit of a slow start of the year. I don't know how you guys are feeling. I don't know. Like, I put on... Okay, so I put on Kevin Hart's Lift on Netflix. And my wife is very funny. My wife is a very different movie watcher than I am. The littlest thing can make her love it, and the littlest thing that happens in a movie can make her hate it and just say, turn it off. So we're watching Lift. And for those of you who haven't seen Lift, slight spoiler for like the first 5 minutes, because that's as far as I got. Kevin Hart and his team, they steal a celebrity from an auction. And the cops are chasing after them, and they have this boat chase, right? And there's this boat chase going on, and I'm not going to lie, I wasn't, like, hugely invested in the movie at this point, but I was kind of curious to see where it was going. Kevin Hart turns around, smiles at the cop. My wife is sitting there watching it with me, and she just turns to me and goes, turn it off. And I was like, what? She's like, I hate it. I'm like, why? He's like, it was cheesy. That smile was cheesy. And then she just walked out of the room. She was like, I'm not watching this. It's stupid. So we turned off Lift. So technically I haven't seen that movie. Otherwise, that would have been my third movie I saw this year. But other than that, no. I've only seen, for new releases, Night Swim and ISS. But I also heard Lift wasn't great, so maybe my wife did me a favor. But I do want to go back and finish it. Chillmonger says, but after Deadpool, there's nothing as interesting. I mean, yeah, that's true. There's nothing as interesting. Well, I mean, on the Disney Plus side, which not everyone's paying attention to, you do have Daredevil Born Again, which will come out next year. But I think regardless of having nothing interesting, it will just be the Marvel brand needs to win its trust and needs to win the audience back. And Deadpool is their best chance at doing that. Because if they make a great Deadpool movie, if they make, like, I'm saying, like, this has to be the best of the trilogy. This has to be, maybe that's a bit of extreme, but this has to be the best Deadpool movie ever made. And then everyone will be back on board with with the MCU. Maybe, I don't know. Toxic331 says, I ordered a Blu-ray of the Popeye movie with Robin Williams so I can upgrade the DVD. I've never seen that movie, to be honest with you. I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't seen it. Jay Pylon said, I went to the cinema to view The New Mutants. I didn't care for it in the least. It couldn't decide whether it was a superhero movie or a horror film. Yeah, I tried watching it. I got in like 10 minutes, and then I turned it off. I just couldn't do it. I do plan on going back and finishing it because I want to watch all the Fox superhero movies before Deadpool, just in case there's any surprise cameos in Deadpool 3. But yeah, I agree with you. Even though I only saw 10 minutes of it, I felt the same way. Toxic with 331 says, I didn't watch New Mutants except for the ending and asked my mom and dad not too long ago. Do you remember anything that happens in it? And said they didn't remember anything. Yeah, I guess it's a very forgettable movie. Like I said, I only watched 10 minutes of it at the start, so never finished it. Michael11591 says, I really enjoyed your Drake and Josh ranking video. Well, thank you, man. I love the show, and it's still funny today. I remember watching the pilot episode the night it premiered. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said in the video, I didn't get into Drake and Josh till I was 8 years old, and that was in 2007. So that was when their last season was airing. But that's when I discovered the show, and yeah, I fell in love with it ever since. Yeah, that video was a lot of fun to put together. I put that video together. I wanted to get it out the day of their 20th anniversary. I didn't line up that way. I almost scrapped it. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't done yet, and I almost scrapped it. And then you guys saved it because I put it on the community post. I was like, I'll just see if there's any interest at all in this. And you guys voted that you wanted to see it, so I decided to finish it and I put it out. And yeah, I appreciate all the support and love on it, man. Because I was so happy to talk about Drake and Josh on the channel. Not something I get to do very often, and it was a lot of fun. So I appreciate everyone who clicked on that and commented on it and discussed Drake and Josh with me. It was fantastic. Tanza LOLYT says, hi. Well, hello, Tanza LOLYT. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Toxic 331 says, I'm going to WWE Royal Rumble PPV or pay-per-view on Saturday, and I'm going to be vlogging everything. I might have not, maybe it's not pay-per-view, PPV. I'm not a wrestler guy, so I have no idea what that means. But that's awesome, dude. You're going to vlog everything. That sounds like it's going to be fun and making memories. That's awesome, dude. Hope you have a great time. Nathan's Random Movies says, how would you rank all 13 X-Men films? Mine would be Origin, Wolverine Origins, Dark Phoenix, Last Stand, Apocalypse, Wolverine, New Mutants, Deadpool 1, X-Men, First Class, X2, Days of Future Past, Deadpool 2, and Logan. Wow, that's real. And I don't think I can do that off the top of my head, to be honest with you. I can give you my top three, and my top three are definitely at number 1, Logan, followed by Days of Future Past, and then probably my third one, I might go First Class. I might go X-Men First Class. I also really like X-Men 2, but do you have X-Men Origins and the Wolverine is what you mean. Okay, yeah. I can't do that right now off the top of my head, but those are my top three. But thanks for the question, man. Talk to Game with 331 says, unfortunately, Zach, sorry to tell you, but you lost a Royal Rumble match today, but you're not the only one. I lost too. So, man. Well, you know what? Virtual Zach will get him next time, man. Dakota Man Movie says, what trailers do you think are coming out during the Super Bowl? I am not a sports guy. When does the Super Bowl come out? The Super Bowl 2024. When does that come out? Sunday, February 11th. Okay. February 11th. I think you'll definitely get a push for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think you'll definitely get a Godzilla X Kong push as well. That's probably too early for Deadpool. You'll probably get Mad Max. I imagine Furiosa will probably get a push there. What else is coming out in March? Maybe you'll probably get a trailer or another push for that movie If, John Krasinski's movie If. Oh man, that's tricky. What's coming out in May? May movies 2024. You'll probably get Ghostbusters. Yeah, you'll probably get Ghostbusters in there. Frozen Empire. I think they'll probably do a big push for Ghostbusters. You'll probably get Inside Out. I imagine you'll get an Inside Out trailer as well. I doubt they'll do Madam Web. It's too close. Dune's too close. Yeah, I think Rebel Moon. Would Netflix do Rebel Moon? Maybe. You might get Rebel Moon Part 2. I don't know, though. I don't know if Netflix would want to spend the money on Super Bowl, because Super Bowl is expensive. Like a couple million a minute or like a second. I don't know. It's ridiculous. You'll probably get Fall Guy. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave us another Fall Guy trailer during the Super Bowl. I think If you'll get for sure. Furiosa, I think you'll get. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, yep. I think Garfield, maybe. You might get a push for Garfield. Ballerina, maybe they post their first one. I think you'll definitely get Inside Out 2 on the Super Bowl. Bad Boys 4 comes out in June. Maybe Bad Boys 4 drops a trailer at the Super Bowl. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it's out of the question. Those are just a couple that I would throw out there, man. Thanks for the question. We got Talks Game with 331 saying, "Yep, I saw the advertisement for the 1984 movie coming in theaters in ISS." Really? They're doing the 1984 movie. Why? That's baffling to me, because I haven't seen it, but I haven't heard a single person tell me they liked it. Not a single person. So that's interesting. That's really interesting. Toxic with 331 says, "Yeah, I didn't like the original Dune. It was weird." Fair enough, man. Nathan Jenner Movie says, "I am still only 14 when Deadpool 3 comes out. Praying that my dad will have actually allowed me to see it in the theater, because I watched the first two when I was 12 and at home alone." Yeah, when the first Deadpool movie came out, I was 17, so I wasn't really quite at the age to see it, but I was supposed to meet a bunch of friends up at the theater. They had an adult that was gonna go with them, and I got to the theater for Deadpool 1, and I was late, so they had already bought their tickets and went in, and they texted me like, "Sorry, we're already in the theater," and I don't know, it just got messy, so I decided not to see the movie because I couldn't see it with them. So I didn't see Deadpool 1 when it came out in theaters, and I was like just shy of making it to see it on my own. But Deadpool 2, caught that one in theaters. Nathan's Red Movie says, will you watch The Beekeeper this weekend? I don't know. Maybe. If there's nothing else playing, because a lot of people have asked me if I've seen it. And usually I don't like to do reviews on the channel after a movie's been out for like a week, even if like a whole weekend. I usually don't do a review because I just feel like the time has passed. No one's really talking about it anymore. But people have asked me about Beekeeper, so maybe I will make it out to see that one. Tox Gamer 331 says, Lift is my least favorite movie of the year so far out of the 4 I've seen. Yeah, it sounds like I might have dodged a bullet. Thanks, wife. Thanks to my wife. Toxic Gamer 51 says the Popeye movie is good and a fun time. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to get on that. Nathan Jenner Movie says best and worst Marvel movie ever for me. Infinity War and Fant Four Stick. Oof. The best Marvel movie ever. Yeah, that's true. I mean, probably Infinity War is still my favorite. The worst Marvel movie of all time. I mean, Howard the Duck is quite quite the experience. I turned that off halfway through. Maybe even not halfway. Maybe it was even earlier than halfway through. I should go back and finish that just for the sake of it. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that I turned off Howard the Duck probably tells me that Howard the Duck was probably my least favorite Marvel movie. Can't believe that's a Marvel movie too. It's such a weird movie. Michael 11591 says, I can't believe Drake and Josh is 20 years old. Show got me through middle school and high school. Yeah, show got me through a lot. I love that show so much. I still put it on still to this day. It still works for me. I still think it's funny. Some of it's not as funny as it was when I was a kid, but some of the stuff in there is still great. Toxic 51 says, third place is Night Swim and Beekeeper, and ISS are tied as of right now. Yeah, ISS I was just really disappointed in more than anything. I didn't think it was awful. It wasn't terrible, but it's forgettable. I almost forgot I saw it. You guys asked, what have I been watching lately? And I totally forgot that I saw ISS. So what does that tell you? Let's see here. We got The View with Drew saying, what do you think is the worst horror remake ever? I think Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 are the worst movies the year that they came out. The worst horror remake, I'm not a horror guy, so I'm not one that's going to be able to answer this question, to be honest with you. Apologies, man. But thanks for the question. Have you seen that with T? Says Deadpool 3 trailer on Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, man, I don't know. Because is it too early? They just finished shooting it, but like I said, they were working on post-production for stuff that they had shot earlier, so they have footage edited that they could edit together into a trailer. They don't necessarily need the last footage that they just shot. Maybe I would be over the moon excited if they were able to get a Deadpool 3 trailer out by February, like this coming month. That'd be insane. I still think the earliest you get is probably March, only because the release dates for these trailers or these like releases of trailers are getting closer to their release dates when they come out. But then again, you got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That trailer came out, and that trailer doesn't come out till May. So maybe we'll wait and see. We got Dragon Movie Guy. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. He says, hi, Zach. Love the show. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Any films you think got Oscars snubbed on nominations? Everyone's saying it, but The Iron Claw. The Iron Claw. I'm disappointed that movie didn't get any love. Zac Efron didn't get any love. We'll talk about it, but like any of the cast, any of the supporting brothers, I wish they had gotten nominated. Yeah, The Iron Claw, I think deserved a little bit more recognition. But I say that also acknowledging I haven't seen everything that got nominated, so I don't necessarily think that one thing should be removed for The Iron Claw. But yeah, I was a little bummed to see nothing for The Iron Claw. That was a little disappointing. Have you seen that with T? Says Super Bowl always puts out the trailers for the big summer blockbusters. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I only say it might be a little early because they just finished shooting Deadpool 3, but like I think it was Nathan brought it to my attention that they do have footage shot and edited from before the strike. So they could have made a trailer based off that. So it's possible. I don't know. It sounds too good to be true. I think that's my hesitation with it. Is it sounds too good to be true. Let's see here. I'm not quite sure what C-Punk is. My apologies. We got movie reviews with Ryan Lane saying, I'm not looking forward to Rebel Moon Part 2. Zack Snyder's usual bag of tricks are getting old and tired. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with Rebel Moon Part 1. I thought it was fine. I definitely didn't hate it. A lot of people hated that movie. I definitely didn't hate it. I thought I had some enjoyment with it. It was kind of a fun sci-fi movie at points, but I can't say that I'm like excited for Rebel Moon Part 2, but I'll check it out. I'm curious to see where they go. I'm curious to see what the rest of the story he wants to tell is. And, yeah, we'll see. And then Toxic Gamer 331 says, have you seen the first Beverly Hills Cop, Zach? I have seen the first Beverly Hills Cop. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't thrilled with it. Maybe it's just because I didn't grow up with it, or maybe it was just not past my time. But, like, you know, I don't know. There was something about it that I didn't think it was as funny as I was expecting it to be, and the action comedy, like, you know, it was maybe that's where it originated from, but it didn't really work all that much for me. It felt very generic to me, just living in at the time 2022. But I'm looking forward to seeing the fourth one, and I got to finish the rest of the trilogy before I do that. So, yeah, I didn't mind it. Toxic Gamer 331 says I might be seeing Mean Girls Friday with a forehead slap. Then why go if you don't want to see it, man? No, I don't know. I don't have much interest in seeing Mean Girls, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of like, nah. I don't need it. Nathan John Movies says I recently lent my friend my Blu-ray of 1917, and now she is totally obsessed with it. Nice. That's awesome. That's a great movie. I haven't gone back to watch that since I watched it in theaters, but I remember being real impressed with that movie when that came out. All right, guys. We are going to move on now. We're going to talk about topic number 3. Oh, the fun one. Yeah, okay. We're going to talk about topic number 3. I'll be honest. I didn't even necessarily want to have this as a topic, but I don't know. It just seems like everyone's talking about it. I figured it was the thing going around, and you guys are probably going to ask in the chat anyways about it, so I decided to make it a topic. The Oscars! The Oscars, the time of the year where movie cinephiles get real excited and real mad at what gets nominated. And this year definitely did not disappoint in that field. This time, with Barbie. Barbie is a movie that many people love, and I understand why many people love it, I guess. It wasn't really for me all that much. I enjoyed my time while I watched it, but overall, it's not a movie that I feel the need to watch really ever again. Maybe one day down the line I will, but regardless of all that, the Oscars came out, and it was very apparent why people were upset, because there's Ken showing Barbie what he's going to wear to the Oscars as he's nominated. And it was very apparent that the movie that stars Margot Robbie as Barbie didn't have Margot Robbie nominated for Best Actress for Barbie, but they had Ken nominated. So that set Twitter ablaze, as Twitter likes to be. Anyway, guys, this is what's going on in the world of Twitter right now, and I just gotta say, I think it's completely ridiculous. So here's what happened. The Best Picture nominations came out, right? You got American Fiction, you got Anatomy of a Fall, you got Barbie. Barbie is on the Best Picture. You got The Holdovers. I'm super stoked about The Holdovers being on there. You got Killers of the Flower Moon. You got Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. Things seem to be going good. Things seem to be going all right. And then we got the nominees for Best Directing. And we got Best Directing, and we got Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. You may notice one's missing. You may notice Barbie's not on there. Well, the world noticed. Oh, did the world notice? Anyways, this comes from NPR.org, because Barbie did get nominated quite a bit at the Oscars, actually. Here's what they had to say. Barbie received 8 Oscar nominations on Tuesday morning, including Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor for Ryan Gosling, Best Supporting Actress for America Ferrera, It was also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, Costume Design, and Production Design. It's gotten a lot of recognition, but Barbie did not get the recognition where people wanted it to get. And they became very, very transparent about their feelings on Twitter with such tweets from very, very high public profiles and trades and articles coming out with tweets such as Greta Gerwig made a critically acclaimed, culturally profound feminist movie about Barbie and the patriarchy that made $1 billion at the box office, and the Oscar nomination goes to Ken. Yep, that's what everyone was focusing on. You got, so Greta Gerwig created one of the most original films of the decade, one that completely blew apart people's expectations of what a Barbie movie could be and resonated with millions. Yet apparently that's not quite worth a nomination for Best Director. And on and on and on and on it went. Everyone was just so mad, to the point that Oscar nominee supporting actor for Barbie, Ryan Gosling, basically apologized for getting nominated for Barbie. He said this quote out: "There is no Ken without Barbie, and there is no Barbie movie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, the two people most responsible for this history-making, globally celebrated film. No recognition would be possible for anyone on the film without their talent, grit, and genius." Here's the thing, Ryan Gosling. That's not exclusive to just your movie. I'm sorry. I don't understand this at all. People keep talking about this snub of Barbie and Margot Robbie because it made $1 billion in the box office, because it's culturally phenomenal, because it made all this and people loved it and blah, 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 blah. That's not what the Oscars are about. That's not what the Oscars are about. It's not a box office award. It's not about box office success. Box office success does not equal Oscar success. And why is this just exclusively for Barbie? Let's go back to these Best Picture nominations. All right, American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, Holdovers, Kills of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. 10 nominations. All right, let's go back to the directors. Anatomy of a Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. 5. That means half of the Best Pictures did not make it into Best Directing. Not just Barbie. The Holdovers. You can say this exact quote. You can say this exact same quote from Ryan Gosling. There is no Holdovers without Alexander Payne, and there is no Barbie movie, or there is no Holdovers movie without Dominic Sessa and all that. You can replace the words with any one of those movies. Any one of them. Barbie is not special. Yes, it made a bunch of money. Yes, it made $1 billion box office. It was the highest grossing movie of last year. People loved it. It was the movie that most people saw. That doesn't equal Academy Awards. That's the truth. That's just it. And here's the thing. If you're upset about Margot Robbie not getting a Best Actress, about Greta Gerwig not getting a nomination, that is fine. That is completely justified. Like, I'm not the person who should be defending the Oscars against Barbie, because I'm not even a big fan of Barbie. I don't think Ryan Gosling should be supporting actor nominated. I think that's ridiculous. I think any other of the brothers in Iron Claw, the Jeremy Allen White, put him in there. Take Ryan Gosling out and put him in there. I think that's way more deserved than Ryan Gosling. But the Academy made their decision because art is subjective, movies are subjective, and just because I didn't love Barbie all that much, and I don't even necessarily think that Barbie should be nominated for Best Picture, the Academy did. That is what they saw. That was their subjective feelings to Barbie, and that's how they voted. It's totally okay to be upset that they didn't put your favorite movie in there or your favorite actor in there, but to act like this is some kind of disgrace that they didn't look at this popular movie and put it in the Best Director category for the person who made that movie. There is no Barbie without Greta Gerwig. It doesn't matter. You can say that about any other one of these movies. Any of them. But we're not. They're focusing on Barbie. And I think it's ridiculous. I think it's completely insane. And when you look at I think I lost my spot here. Where is it? Crap. I think I lost I think I lost everything here. Where is it? I don't. Here we go. When you look at the Best Actress nominations, yeah, Margot Robbie's not on there. But in my personal opinion, and take this with a grain of salt because I've only seen Lily Gladstone's performance out of this list, okay? Full transparency, I haven't seen any other of these actresses' performances, so I can't speak to how I felt about them, whether they should be here or not. I'm glad Lily Gladstone's in here. I will say right off the bat, I think Lily Gladstone deserves to be in here, and I do think she gave a more worthy performance than Margot Robbie in Barbie. Not that Margot Robbie was bad in Barbie, I just personally didn't think it was an Oscar-worthy performance. And when you look at this list of ladies who are nominated, Emma Stone is getting raving reviews in Poor Things. Everyone is loving Emma Stone. In fact, a lot of people are saying that this is her year. She's going to win. Carey Mulligan is also getting rave reviews. She is another front runner that people think could possibly win. Could Margot Robbie fit in here? Maybe, but that's not how the Academy felt. And here's the thing, too. You cannot look at this list, at least majority of you, and this is myself included, as I've already said, I'm transparent about this, look at this list and say that you've seen all these movies. Majority of you can't do it. Some of you can. Some of you can. And if you can, props to you, man. Because I don't know. I always miss like 3 to 5 movies that get nominated at the Oscars every year. I just can't catch them all. I just can't do it. I never have seen all the performances that are being nominated, all of the production that's being nominated. I've never been able to see all the movies. I've never been able to see all that's nominated for the Oscars. So if you can do that, that's awesome. But I know a majority of you haven't. I know that a majority of people out there that are complaining that Margot Robbie is not on this list has not seen Annette Bening in Naiad. Has not seen Carey Mulligan in Maestro. Some of them haven't even seen Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon because that movie is so freaking long. So some people did not even bother seeing that. Yet they're complaining that Margot Robbie's not on here. Why? Just because she was your favorite. Which is fine. Which is completely fair. But is it a snub? I would say no. Personally, I would say no. And I think the same goes for Greta Greta Gerwig is her name. I don't know why I couldn't say her name for a second. I think the same goes for Greta Gerwig in directing. Was the movie directed well? Some would say yes, some would say no. I personally thought it was directed fine. I thought the production design of Barbie Land and the costuming and all that stuff was way more impressive in the movie than some of the direction. I didn't really like the real world stuff and Will Ferrell and the Mattel stuff. It just tonally kind of felt all over the place. I didn't think it was the strongest directed film. I also haven't seen all the movies on here. I haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall. I haven't seen Poor Things. I haven't seen Zone of Interest. Oppenheimer's fantastic. I think that one's going to win. I hope that one wins. But I got to see the rest of these. But I cannot say that any of these aren't justified to be in here and that they should have had Greta Gerwig in here because I haven't seen these. And a majority of the people who are complaining that Greta Gerwig is not on here, they haven't seen these either. If you've seen all of these and you think she belongs on there, totally fine. I get it. And you have every right to feel that way. But me personally, I can't say that she deserves to be on here as opposed to Anatomy of a Fall. I haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall. So I can't call that a snub. And the majority of people out there that are calling Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig got snubbed haven't seen these movies. And I think that's the biggest problem with what's going on right now is because they're boiling down the Academy Awards to box office success, and they're trying to play this whole misogynistic, oh, this is what we get because a woman made a movie about female empowerment and it made the $1 billion in the box office, so the Academy is punishing Margot Robbie and Greta. No, they're not. Look at Anatomy of a Fall. That's a woman. That's a female director. They've nominated a female director. Just because they didn't nominate the one that you wanted doesn't make them misogynistic. Anatomy of a Fall, right there. Woman director. That's my thoughts, guys. That's my thoughts on it. I think Twitter is a cesspool more than usual today because of how people are reacting to these nominations. And like I said, if you liked Barbie, if Barbie was your favorite movie of the year, and you are disappointed that it's not nominated, that it's not that Greta Gerwig didn't get nominated for Best Director, that Margot Robbie didn't get nominated for Best Actress, I get it. And that's totally fair that for you to feel that way, but you can't call it a snub if the reasonings for it are because it made $1 billion in the box office and because, I don't know, she's a woman. Those are the two arguments that I've really seen going around. And because she made a phenomenally cultural movie, which is true. You can't deny that. This was a cultural phenomenon. Doesn't equal Oscars. So maybe I'll watch all those movies and I'll finish the list and I'll say, you know what? Yeah, Greta Gerwig did deserve to be on this list. Maybe I will. But at the moment, I can't say that. And a majority of you can't say it either. Anyway, guys, that was my thoughts on this whole Margot Robbie, Greta Gerwig snubbing situation going on. Not a fun one to talk about. So let's go on to a fun one to talk about, because this topic is interesting. And this is our final topic of the night, and then we'll just take your live comments and questions for the remainder of the night. You know, Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies of all. It's in my top 5. It's my top 5 favorite movies of all time. And back in 2014, when they were coming out with Jurassic World, I was over the moon excited. It didn't take much for that excitement to dwindle over the years, and eventually that excitement dwindling came to a head with Dominion, Jurassic World Dominion, which I thought was pretty bad, pretty awful. Didn't like it, pretty disappointing. I thought it was really, 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 really bad. Came out in 2022, not too long ago. So, look, it made $1 billion though. No matter how bad I thought Dominion was, somehow, I guess dinosaurs are the answer to box office in some ways, because somehow that movie still managed to make over $1 billion. And there was talk when that movie came out that, oh, Jurassic World Dominion is going to be the last one. Don't expect to see any more Jurassic Park movies after Jurassic World Dominion. And I remember laughing at that quote thinking, yeah, right, come on. And then the movie makes $1 billion. I knew there was going to be another Jurassic World, but I did not expect it to come as soon as it's coming, because, yeah, that's right, guys. Jurassic World 4, it is happening. It is coming. This comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter. This is what they had to say. You can't keep a good T-Rex down. Although it's been 2 years since the last time dinosaurs roamed the Earth in 2022's Jurassic World Dominion, Universal Pictures has hardly kept its biggest franchise trapped in amber. The studio is deep into the development of an all-new Jurassic World movie and has David Koepp back at the keyboard. If you don't know who David Koepp is, it Koepp or Koepp? If you don't know who David Koepp is, David Koepp was the writer of the original 1993 Jurassic Park, famously directed by Steven Spielberg, and its sequel, 1997's Jurassic Park: The Lost World. The article goes on to say, the project, which has been flying under the radar, is far enough along, and the script is in a well-liked shape that the studio is whispering about a possible 2025 release date. Now, that is interesting. Let's just pause right there for a second. 2025, that's a year from now. Usually a movie like this, I mean, the writing is deep into it, yes, but they've got to, they got to get moving on this if they want to hit 2025, because a movie like this with big dinosaurs and big budget, Jurassic World movies, have got dinosaurs living all over the world. Maybe they'll actually explore that in this fourth film. But if you're going to do this in 2025, you should get, shooting this right away, because post-production on these movies is a year and a half sometimes to get all those visual effects and get it out in time. So 2025, that is ambitious. I don't care how far along in the script writing they are, that's ambitious. Anyways, the article continues to say, there's no director on board, but Frank Marshall, the veteran and celebrated producer who oversaw the Jurassic World trilogy, is back producing, as is another Jurassic veteran, Patrick Crowley. Spielberg will executive produce via his Amblin Entertainment banner, but that's really nothing new. Spielberg has always produced these Jurassic World movies. Doesn't mean they turn out well. And that comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter. All right, guys. So, more Jurassic World. I mean, we knew this was coming, right? We knew this was coming. I don't think anyone's surprised here that they're doing another one. The movie makes $1 billion. You make another one. Just look at Top Gun. Doing Top Gun 3, even though Maverick was supposed to be the one and done. Am I excited about this? As someone who loves Jurassic Park and someone who does not like Dominion, I am on the fence. to be honest with you. I'm on the fence. There's parts of me that kind of feel like the heydays of this franchise are in the past. And I feel like Universal feels that way as well because they are intentionally going back and grabbing the guy from the past who did the first Jurassic Park movie to try and capture that lightning in a bottle gold again. I think they know that the Jurassic World movies are making money, but they're not being that well received, and I think they want the best of both worlds. So going back and getting David Koepp, who wrote the first Jurassic Park movie, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time, awesome. I really like that decision. In some ways, I can't decide if it's a smart or desperate decision, but I'm going to lean to smart because I think it's a smart decision. So getting the original guy back, awesome. Hitting that 2025 release date, that is worrisome. I hope that they're not just trying to fast track this as fast as possible. If you're going to get David Koepp, who wrote the original Jurassic Park movie, let him make a great, write a great movie. And then get a great director, because that's another thing that this article doesn't have, is it doesn't have the director attached. Now, if they were to come out and say, we got David Koepp coming back to write the script, and Steven Spielberg is returning to direct, he's coming back to the franchise, the original writer, the original director, it's happening, yeah, I'd be over the moon excited. I would be over the moon excited. But no matter how well of a script David Koepp writes, it's all about the direction. Who's the director? Who are they going to get? You know who I would be stoked about if they got? You know who I would be absolutely over the moon about if they announced this guy was going to direct the next Jurassic Park movie? The guy who directed Godzilla -1. Now, I don't know his name. Unfortunately, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know that he's having like meetings with like Lucasfilm, with Star Wars and all. So he's getting wrapped up in the Hollywood bubble a little bit right now. With what he did with Godzilla -1, I want to see him take on the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. If you either announce Steven Spielberg or that the director from Godzilla -1 is going to be doing this Jurassic Park 4, I am stoked. I am over the moon excited. As it is right now, you've got the original writer, great. But you messed up this concept in Jurassic World so badly. So badly. The concept was right there. Dinosaurs living among us in the world. What does that mean for humanity? How does that affect our daily lives? Look, Locust. But Locust. Look at the Locust. I don't want to look at the Locust. There's dinosaurs, right? Locust. No, you messed up. You messed up with those Jurassic World movies so badly that I have weak faith in them. I have very weak faith about them continuing on in the franchise. It just seems like a money situation, not so much a creative situation. The little sliver of hope that's happening right now for this is the fact that the original writer's coming back. That has me a little bit curious to see this. And, you know, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are fun. Even with as bad as Dominion was and how little dinosaur action there was in it, when the dinosaurs showed up, it was fun. I enjoyed the dinosaur stuff. So you get dinosaur stuff in Jurassic Park. You get the original writer to come back. You could do something great with that. We'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this announcement that we are going to be getting a Jurassic World 4? Are you excited? Do you like that they brought the original writer back to do this? Do you think it's too soon to do another Jurassic World? Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions, guys. And with that said, that was our last topic of the night, guys. So we are just going to go to your live comments and questions for the remainder of the night. I'm very nervous to get in here because the last thing we talked about was Jurassic World, but before that we talked about the Barbie situation. I probably have a very unpopular opinion. I'm aware of that, but anyways, we'll see what you guys are saying. Hopefully you guys are nice to me. First of all, we got the Ace Avenue gifted a Zach Milne Talks membership. Well, thank you very much, man. And that membership went to Tanza LOLYT. Well, that was very nice of you, man. That was very generous of you. Thank you for doing that. And also, may I say, welcome, newest member. Thank you so much for being a member. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited to have you on Members Talk Live and on the show, and it's going to be fun, man. I'm looking forward to getting to meet you. All right, we got Dakota Man Movies saying, I forgot Rebel Moon Part 2 was even coming out. I did not like the first one. Where's the director's cut? I hate that they did that. I honestly, I hate that. I do not like this new trend going around in the streaming service. They do it with Napoleon. They have Ridley Scott's Napoleon in theaters. It's 2.5 hours long, but guess what? It's not the full movie. We got 4 hours coming on Apple TV. Well, you blew it in theaters. I don't care about your cut on Apple TV anymore. Same kind of thing happens with Netflix here. They make Rebel Moon, And then you have Zack Snyder coming out and just fully admitting that Netflix made a copy of the movie to try and ignite Snyder Cut hype. So he has his own little copy, the actual movie, tucked away right now. We've got some weird Netflix cut, the official cut that's out on Netflix right now, but Zack Snyder is holding his real cut, and eventually he's going to release it. I don't even know when the date is. They haven't talked about a date for this, but I hate this trend. If you're going to make a movie, make the movie, and then put out the movie you made. Don't intentionally hold back the complete film because you want to do this DLC release thing. Stupid. Give me the movie. Otherwise, you're just going to dissatisfy customers. And Napoleon, and I'm pretty sure Rebel Moon, for a lot of people, proved that to be true. Toxic Gamer 331 says, for some reason I used to like Fant Four Stick when I was younger. Now I have much different taste now and realize it's a terrible movie. You know, I don't actually hate Fant Four Stick all that much. I think the movie really starts to lose itself once the powers are introduced, which in a Fantastic Four movie is not what you really want the outcome to be. When they get their powers, you kind of want that to be when the movie takes off, but just kind of wasn't. But the first 45 minutes of the movie I actually think were pretty decent. I actually didn't mind them. But yeah, then it just kind of fell off the rails. Very disappointing. Have you seen that with T? Says Iron Claw was so good. One of the top movies of 2023. Yep, I believe it was in my top 7, maybe it was a top 5 because I did TV shows as well. But it was definitely in my top 10 of last year. And I don't want to give it away, but actually, you know what? I can't. I was going to say the line that broke my heart, but I can't say it because it is too much of a giveaway. But, Zac Efron. I wish he was nominated for Best Actor. I really do. Nathan Jordan Movie says Iron Claw definitely got snubbed 100%. Yeah. And, I don't know why. I wonder if it's because it just came out kind of late. But once again, like I said, I haven't seen a majority of the movies on Best Picture. So maybe there just literally was no room for it. Maybe the Academy just voted and it just didn't get in, which is fair. But it did come out around Christmas time, which I thought was kind of a weird release date for it. So I'm sure a lot of Academy members, they get screeners earlier for sure, but maybe some of them missed it because they were too busy with the holidays. I don't know. All I know is that I wish, in a perfect world, it would have gotten nominated, and Zac Efron would have been nominated for Best Actor, but just wasn't the way it worked out. Toxic Gamer 331 says Iron Claw should have at least gotten 1 nomination. I would give it a bunch of different nominations and wins. Yeah, I wish it had gotten something, but it just didn't. Nathan Jenner Movie says Alien Romulus sounds like a good trailer for the Super Bowl. Ooh, when does that come out? That is a good one. When did that come out? I'm going to look that up real quick. I can't remember when that comes out. I'm looking forward to that movie, though. That movie, Alien Romulus release date. According to this, it's August 16th. August 16th. Would they put out a trailer for Alien in February when it comes out in August? And spend $1 million? I don't think they would. I wouldn't hold your breath, man. I wouldn't. I don't think that they're going to do that one for the Super Bowl. I don't see the point in why they would do that, especially when you're throwing millions and millions of dollars a second just to have your trailer play at the Super Bowl, but it doesn't come out till August. So people are just gonna forget by the next week that you have an Alien movie coming out in August. I don't think it's smart to do that movie trailer that early. Toxic Gamer 331 says I didn't like Rebel Moon Part 1. It was literally beat for beat like Star Wars. It was definitely there was a lot of Star Wars in it. I completely agree with you there. There's a full on. They just rip off the whole cantina scene from A New Hope. They literally do it beat for beat, the exact same scene. No one gets a lightsaber with their chopping off their arm or anything, but the way that the scene plays out is how it played out in New Hope. Talk to Me 331 says Alien Romulus is coming out on my birthday month. Last time I checked, which I'm excited for. Awesome, dude. That's a great birthday present. That's a real great birthday present. Talk to Me 331 says it's either Mean Girls or Miller's Girl, which I don't know if I'll be able or I'll be allowed to watch it. Yeah, Miller's Girl might be. Yeah, it might be a little bit. I don't know. I gotta look up what exactly the content's gonna be because I don't know. Nathan Jenner Movie says, have you seen Maestro? I thought it had great performances, but was kind of boring in general to me. No, I haven't seen Maestro. I want to watch it because I want to start catching up on some of these Oscar movies, but I did not get around to watching that. I think that came out during Christmas time. I was just too busy during Christmas time. I just family and games and hanging out and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I wasn't watching very many movies during Christmas time. Tox Gamer 331 says, "What do you think of the new Jurassic World movie news, Zach?" We just covered that. I hope that you enjoyed my thoughts on that. Tox Gamer 331 says, "Even though overall I didn't love Barbie, I do think Greta Gerwig should have been nominated for Best Director because I think she did direct it very well." See, that's totally fine. Like I'm totally fine with you having that opinion. I happen to be on the opposite of the opinion. I thought it was kind of totally all over the place. The direction of the movie was not the best part of that. The best part of the movie was Ken. Honestly, was Ryan Gosling as Ken and the production. And yeah, he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor, which, even having say that, I don't think that I wouldn't have gone that way. I wouldn't have voted for him for Best Supporting Actor. But hey, the Academy did. Whatever. My thoughts are my thoughts. That's their thoughts. Whatever. So yeah, I get it, man. Like, it's fair for you to feel that way, but you can't realistically say that you would take anyone off of who got directed for director if you haven't seen their movie. So if you've seen their movie and you think that Barbie should have been replaced over one or the other, totally fine, totally justified. But you legitimately can't say Zone of Interest shouldn't be on there, Barbie should have been on there if you haven't seen Zone of Interest. That's just my personal opinion. That's how I view the whole thing. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says, "It's funny how talent like John Williams can get nominated almost every year, yet the Oscars seems hesitant to give female directors the same level of recognition." Well, here's the thing. They did nominate a female. They nominated a female director. Justine, what was her name? I can't remember her name. I don't think I can pull up the quote either. Justine, what is her name? Justine Trite? I think is how you say that. Justine Trite. They nominated a female director, and with Justine Trite. So, like, they can. I mean, I don't think is there a female. Know who I wish had got, like, again, I can't say I could take anyone out of here, but if I could add another one, if I could make it 6 instead of 5, Celine Strong. No, I think it's Celine Song for Past Lives. Kind of wish Past Lives got a Best Director nomination. I think that it's awesome that it got a Best Picture, and I would love to see Alexander Payne for The Holdovers get on there too, because I love The Holdovers. You guys know this. I love The Holdovers, so I would have loved to have seen the director of The Holdovers get on there too. So I understand why people feel that way about Greta Gerwig as well and Barbie. I'm just saying everyone, but I can't say who I would take off because I haven't seen all the movies. And also, if that's how if that's how the subject of this art hit them, then who am I? And then mine is still valid. Theirs is valid. It's not I'm wrong, they're right. We just see it differently. And it's unfortunate. I do wish Alexander Payne and Celine Song got nominated, but I got to watch those before I can definitively say that they were snubbed, which I just don't think many other people, including Hillary Clinton, came out and called them a snub, and it's like these trades and these articles and these like high public just like Hollywood Reporter and Deadline, like they came out and was like against the Academy for not nominating. I just think it's ridiculous. I think it's completely ridiculous. Nathan's Better Movie says, "I am convinced that I'm the single person on planet Earth that went negative on Barbie. Not because it was feminine, because its mature themes and message didn't fit with its kiddish nature." Yeah, that's another thing about Barbie is, first of all, it got nominated for Best Picture. Like I said in the topic, I don't agree with that because it is a farce. It's a farce of a movie. It's just silly. It's just wacky. It's bonkers. It has enjoyable moments. It's for sure kind of fun, but I don't know. Best Picture, it just kind of seems like, because it had 10 slots, it just kind of slid in there. I don't think it has any chance at winning. I'll be shocked. Well, maybe shocked is the wrong word. I wouldn't be shocked because maybe it would be one of those like, well, it was so beloved that even in the Academy people voted for Best Picture because they were like, everyone's going to vote for Oppenheimer, so I'll just vote differently, and then Barbie wins Best Picture. That would be shocking, but I wouldn't be like, I didn't see that coming. But I'm not expecting it to win. Let's put it that way. I'm expecting... I mean, the front runner is Oppenheimer, right? I would love if The Holdovers won. I would love to see The Holdovers win Best Picture. I don't think it's going to happen. Was super happy to see Paul Giamatti get a Best Actor nomination and Davine Joy Randolph get Best Supporting Actress. Super excited for them. I hope they win. I hope The Holdovers takes everything that they're nominated for, including Best Picture. Don't believe that it will. I think Oppenheimer will, but oh well. We'll see. Talk to me with 51 says, I'm a head out now. Great stream as always from a great guy and wish you all the success. Have a nice rest of your night. You too, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. The show is made better because you were a part of it, man, and I appreciate you, dude. Have a good night. All right, and it looks like we're on the last question. We're on Daily Reacts TV. What's going on, guys? Says, hey, how you doing today, man? I'm just stopping by and saying hi. I have to work tomorrow, so good night, Zach. Well, thank you for stopping by and saying hi, man, and just showing us support. I really appreciate that, and the show is still made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you. With that, guys, it looks like we are going to call it a night. It looks like everything is taken care of. There's no more comments and questions. So, hey, you know what? This episode, honestly, started a little bit late. I might not have been on my A game, but I still had a great time jumping on here, talking with you guys, talking about these topics. I had a great time talking about those with you. Thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you for everyone who was here, talking in the chat, contributing to the conversation, and giving us fun things to talk about for the whole show. It was tons of fun, and definitely look out because we are going to be back next week, the same exact time, at the same exact channel. Have a good night, guys.